My manipulative boyfriend said I was too ugly to sleep with him, so I dumped him and made him regret that I left. I was with my boyfriend for 3 years, but they were the most miserable years of my life. He always canceled our dates to hang out with his friends, said my cat was feral and needed to be put down, and hung out with my mom even though he knew she abused me. I realize I should have left sooner, but I was emotionally dependent on him for a long time because he's the one that saved me from my abusive mom. I was trying to hold on to the man that he once was, but he was long gone and I refused to see it. But what he said to me on the night I dumped him broke me beyond belief, because he played onto my biggest insecurity. I asked him what we were doing because it was obvious he wasn't invested in our relationship, but for some reason he hadn't broken up with me either. He said he didn't know, so I asked him if he loved me. Maybe deep down he really did. But he said, "Nah, you're really ugly." It took a minute for me to process that. I've always looked older than most girls my age because of my wrinkles, and my hair was unbelievably thin to the point I was growing a bald spot. He told me that he thought my body was super hot, but I was so ugly and he could barely stand to look at me. He delivered the final blow by telling me that was the reason he liked doing it in doggy style. In an instant, the rose-tinted glasses fell off and I saw him for the cruel man he was. I dumped him on the spot, telling him that he was free to be with anyone now. I honestly expected him to chase after me as I left his house, but he didn't move an inch. I went back home, where I was living with my grandma, and she saw me crying. She asked what was wrong, and it took an hour of me sobbing to finally tell her what happened. She tried her best to comfort me and tell me he didn't deserve me, but I just felt stupid for ignoring every red flag. I went to sleep that night hating myself, but I decided that I was never going to let anyone make me feel this way again. I was going to get pretty if it was the last thing I did. The next day, I went out and bought multiple beauty products to help with my multiple problems. I washed my hair regularly with salon-level products, and used creams to rid the wrinkles from my face. Every time I looked at myself in the mirror, my ex's words played over and over again in my head. I was so sure I was going to be pretty after thoroughly taking care of myself, but all that hope died after a month because nothing had changed. The wrinkles were still evident on my face, my hair was still thin, and to make matters worse my nails were brittle and cracking every second. I didn't even feel like a girl at that point. I would have lost all my faith right there had it not been for the single thought I had while looking at myself in the mirror. How did my grandma look so young at 70? Not only did my grandma look better than me, she looked 50 years old. That's when I remembered that my grandma had worked in the Japanese beauty industry for decades. She knew all the best anti-aging and hydration products. I don't know why I hadn't thought to ask her for a product sooner, so I fixed my mistake by asking her what she used to look young. I mean, she didn't even have wrinkles. She told me that she used to import a collagen ginseng drink, and explained that instead of it being a typical skincare cream, you had to drink it for it to work. She even told me that Japanese geishas also use collagen with ginseng to keep their skin smooth for makeup application, and that got me more excited to drink the collagen. I asked her if she could import it again, and she told me to check her receipt book to find where she bought it from. In it, I saw she had imported the brown and red bottles online from a Japanese company. I literally felt the hope in me return. I didn't hesitate to buy it because I needed a win after everything that happened with my ex. When my order came, I began drinking the collagen with ginseng, and in only 7 days my wrinkles started to go away. In a month, my hair started growing again, and it didn't look like a sad ponytail when I tied it. It even got rid of the nasty bald spot that was forming. I also stopped using the creams because the collagen with ginseng rid my face of wrinkles more than the other products did. All I had to do was drink the collagen every morning, and my face became clear. I was close to looking pretty and young, closer to looking like the Japanese geishas my grandma told me about. In 4 months, my hair was longer and thicker than I ever had it, my nails were strong and I got into the habit of doing them to show off their beauty, and my wrinkles were finally gone so my skin was glowing. You wouldn't be able to tell that I used to look old. The collagen with ginseng drink had flushed the toxins out of my body, so I had never felt prettier. In a way, I'm glad I went through all the BS with my ex because it led me to finding out about the collagen with ginseng drink, but it also makes me want to never sleep with someone in doggy style ever again.